Hey guys, this is Lance Shull. I wanted to make a video inviting each of you to join the Strat TPC tournament circuit. And my goal in this video is to get you from playing Solitaire Project or a face-to-face league to actually coming out to some of these tournaments that are held in person. Normally it's like 12 guys, 10 guys getting together on a weekend to play some Strat in an organized fashion. There's standings, there's races, there's a winner at the end of each year. And all this culminates in a huge party in January called the Worlds, which I just attended my first one in Pittsburgh this past weekend. It was a blast. Highly recommend this. I know that as a player, I went for a long period not realizing there was a tournament circuit out there. And being a competitive person, that was always something I wanted to find out. I finally got hooked up during COVID just through a couple of circumstances and haven't looked back since, basically always playing one or two tournaments a time during baseball season. So let's talk about how you get started doing this. The main resource that you're going to look for here is the StratTPC.com website. This has got all the links to the information you're going to need. It's got the rules up there if you're interested in reading those. During the season, we update what the different drafts have been, what the average draft slot for the different players are, kind of to let you form a blue book or a price guide about where the players are going in different drafts on average. There's information to get scorecards, pitching charts, the Stratomatic homepage, and there's a link about 6 different regions that we have. Those are just basically geographic regions that hold tournaments, and they'll often have like a calendar and a contact person in each of those region links. So let me tell you what the Strat tournament is, and then we'll make a different video later on today about how a game actually looks in a tournament format. So we are playing with super advanced rules, basically. One of the links on here is a rule document, and you can go through here and read up on anything that you're interested in. So we basically play super advanced rules, balks, pass balls, that sort of stuff. I will make another video at some point about if you are at the basic rule level, what the changes are, what the transitions are that you need to get up to super advanced. It's not all that daunting, and everything's pretty well outlined here, so wouldn't worry too much about that, but that's the rules we play. Generally, we are playing with the most recent card set, so the Worlds that were just held is based on the 2021 season. That's the most current season that's out. Later this month, Strat will be accepting advanced orders for the 2023 cards based on the 2022 season. They'll be pre-ordering for that. People will have the new cards end of February, start of March, and all of that season's tournaments will be based on that set. So normally what happens is you establish a minimum threshold of at-bats for hitters and innings for starting pitchers and relief pitchers, and form a eligible player draft pool. So for instance, for this past year, it was position players needed 300 at-bats plus walks. I think that number was docked to 250 for catchers. Starting pitchers needed 120 innings. Relief pitchers needed 40. And from that group of eligible draft people, and there are you can buy a ratings guide from Stratomatic. We could talk more about how to rate players. But generally, everybody is working off a spreadsheet that has the information for each of the eligible players about what the chances are on the cards, on base, home runs, strikeouts, things like that. And everyone's going to have that spreadsheet resource to help them evaluate players. So once we get the eligible player pool, we get guys together for a tournament on a weekend. Normally, it would be somewhere between 8 and 12 people. 10 or 12 people is probably ideal. And what you do is you have a 26-round draft. That's 25 players and a ballpark. You are basically able to break those 25 players down between pitchers, relief pitchers, and hitters as you choose, with a couple of stipulations. First of all, you need at least 4 starting pitchers. STPC uses 4-man starting rotations. You need at least 4 relief pitchers, and you need a player at each position plus a backup. So if I have Brandon Crawford as my shortstop, I'm also going to need someone on the roster who can cover Brandon Crawford at shortstop should he get injured. So it's a 26-round draft, 25 players, 4 starting pitchers, at least 4 relievers, at least 2 players at each position, and you also draft a ballpark. We play with ballpark effects. And this just goes on snake draft format until everybody's got that 26-man roster filled. There's a lot of strategy involved with when to pick players, what kind of team you want to form. You know, you might go for a speed and defense team. You might go for an all pitching team. You might go for a bunch of sluggers that have no defensive ability. And figuring out which recipe of teams works out best is one of the great puzzles that we uncover throughout the years. People try different things and figure out what works and what doesn't. So solving that problem, that puzzle, is part of the allure for me, just along with the competition with the other guys. I've just had a great time with it ever since I joined about 3 springs ago. I'm going to show you a couple other tabs I got open here just for resource purposes. Then we will end this video, and I will make a different video about how a physical gameplay looks later on today. So this is the StratTPC site. That's your main site. Here we have a dice roller that everybody who joins the club gets access to. This is where you actually play games. If it's the first batter of the game, say, I'll hit this roll 3d6. And 311 comes up. We look up what the result is. Move on to the next thing. Say I need to roll a 20-sider. Click the roll 1d20, and this thing moves along pretty fast. Normally, you're able to play about 4 games in 2 hours. There's a Skype tab. A lot of the tournaments that are played in the pure strat region, which is one of the regions, I'll get more into that later. A lot of those have drafts or gameplay over Skype. This is a free account. The phone call's free. Here's another page from the StratTPC that has the average pick sheets by position. It'll list all of the different drafts from all of the different tournaments that were held this year. There's a page where you can print out a score sheet or a pitching chart. Just a quick thing about pitching. Normally, your relief pitchers can only go 3 games in a row and can only go 4 innings in a 4-game span. That's how we control the relief pitching. Here's the rules document that I showed you earlier. And you know, these are just some resources that would help you figure out who to contact, where to go, when tournaments are being held, how it is we're doing things. If you are interested in tournament play, it seems like a lot of people on the Facebook page are interested in figuring out how this thing works. And this is the point of this video, is to get you help breaking through into that. Feel free to leave anything in the comments. I'll try to answer any questions. And again, I'll make another video on how the actual gameplay looks. So yeah, hope to see some new faces. This year, I'm really going to be focusing energy on recruiting new players. We need new players, guys. It's a lot of fun, and I'm just doing this because I want you to share in that fun. All right, again, my name's been Lance Shull, and this is the first in a series of videos, how to get you from the kitchen table to playing in an STPC Stratomatic baseball tournament. Talk to you guys soon.